Welcome for our final presentation on the draft budget. Here we will give a summary of the actuals of the 2024 financial year versus the proposed draft budget for the 2025 to 2026 financial year, revealing concerning trends. I think we can all agree that a 12-minute video and PowerPoint presentation analyzing an 84.1 billion rand budget is unfair. This is completely inadequate for proper public scrutiny. Ratepayers deserve, and require, access to detailed, line-item draft budget. This is our conclusion of the city's draft 2025-26 budget. Over our previous segments, we've examined specific tariffs and issues. Now, we bring it all together, comparing the city's plans with audited realities, and highlighting the risks, and the fundamental question for every ratepayer. Are we becoming a city of hope or a welfare city, considering 70% of the budget will be directed to the poor? A welfare state or city is a slippery slope when it comes to long-term sustainability. So watching Milton Friedman, are we moving towards hope or welfare? You be the judge.
The thing about the welfare state is that when you start on this route, everything goes fine. To begin with, you are imposing taxes on 90% of the people, small taxes, and are able to give considerable benefits to 10% of the people. But the problem is that as time goes on, more and more people come in and either express a desire or are given a chance at a part of the proceeds. So you gradually get to the position where 50% of the people are providing benefits to other 50% of the people, and then you ultimately get to the position where 100% of the people are paying taxes in order to provide benefits to 100% of the people. And you are then in that situation, which Frederick Bastiat described so well 150 years ago, when he said that government is that fiction whereby everybody believes he can live at the expense of everybody else.
Welcome back. Yes, food for thought. So, let's see what we are facing, to consider our action in facing the financial storm. The alarming budget increase. Facts versus inflation. The planned budget increases by 21.0 billion rand, an increase of 34% in just 2 years. Inflation rate, only 5 to 6% per year. Stark reality is the city plans to spend 84.1 billion rand, a staggering 34% increase over its actual spending just 2 years prior. This growth rate massively outstrips inflation. While costs rise, such a huge jump demands extraordinary justification, especially when combined with the reported inefficiencies. We need to question operating costs and the efficiency and the transparency thereof. Operating costs up by 33.5%, is it efficient? The 71.3 billion rand operating budget sees a similar huge increase. We must ask, where are the savings? The Auditor General confirmed 915 million rand lost in electricity alone in 2024. Service targets were missed despite the budget being spent. Ratepayers now labeled a city as financially obese? The general feeling is it should go lean, before demanding more? The critical flaw. No detailed draft budget released for public scrutiny. Compounding this is a critical lack of transparency. No detailed, line-item draft budget has been made easily accessible for public scrutiny. How can we assess efficiency or identify potential waste, from office coffee to major contracts, based only on financial summaries and PowerPoint presentations? This lack of detail fuels suspicion and prevents meaningful participation. The electricity crisis, NERSA dispute and the ratepayer risk. The electricity red flag. The city versus NERSA dispute, an important issue for transparency, overlooked by the mayor. The city claims a mere 2% average electricity hike is a saving. This ignores the explosive reality that the city is an unresolved High Court dispute with NERSA over allegations of illegal overcharging in 2022 and 2023 and 2023 to 2024. Ratepayers could be owed hundreds of millions, and the question ratepayers are asking, who is footing the legal bill? Is the 2% hike built on an unlawful base rate? Ratepayers demand transparency. Presenting future tariffs, without disclosing this fundamental challenge to the legality of the current base rate, is unacceptable. It undermines trust and renders informed consent impossible. Full disclosure is required. Property value problem, fairness, and tax creep. Rates plus fixed charges for water, sanitation, and the new cleaning tariff is all linked to inflated property values. This budget drastically accelerates a dangerous trend, linking not just rates, but also major fixed monthly charges for water, sanitation, and the new cleaning service directly to property valuations. These valuations have reportedly surged 141% since 2010. The unfair burden, charging paper wealth hits pensioners and long-term owners hardest. This unfairly burdens pensioners and long-term homeowners. Their home is for living, not trading commodity. Its paper value doesn't reflect their fixed income or ability to pay ever-increasing monthly bills. Many that have applied for municipal relief are already rejected because of the paper value of their homes. Warning, tax creep via property value will result in higher bills without tariff hikes. Furthermore, this creates tax creep. As valuations rise automatically, your fixed charges for essential services will increase, even without formal tariff hikes being approved, further squeezing budgets. The inequities and broken promises. The new cleaning charge structure appears grossly unfair to ESCOM-supplied areas, who face it as an additional cost, without the electricity offset. And we must not forget the unkept promise to reinstate the universal 6,000 liters of free basic water, removed during the drought, while indigents now receive 15,000 liters free. This creates a stark fairness gap. Policing costs. The double burden. Are ratepayers paying double rates and income tax for safety? Funding 500+ new municipal officers, primarily through the above-inflation rates hike, raises the double payment issue. We already pay national income tax for SAP's policing. Asking municipal ratepayers to fund an expanding local force requires justification regarding roles, effectiveness, convictions versus visibility, and the significant, escalating long-term payroll burden locked into our rates. The overall risk. We are moving towards a hollow economy. A city too expensive to live in? Considering all these factors, the massive budget jump, questionable efficiencies, legal clouds over electricity tariffs, unfair reliance on inflated property values, the policing burden, we need to ask ourselves, is Cape Town creating a hollow economy? A city becoming too expensive for ordinary families, young professionals, essential workers, and even small businesses? The city works for you versus the city of hope. The city's slogan shifted from "the city works for you" to "invested in hope." But hope must be built on a foundation of goodwill, trust, fairness, transparency, efficiency, and present-day affordability. This draft budget risks undermining that foundation, for too many. Our demands and call to action. We demand for a fair budget. 1. Release a detailed budget. 2. Limit hikes to inflation, prove efficiency, savings first. 3. Full NERSA dispute disclosure, transparency, and resolution. 4. Review the fairness of charges rated to property values. 5. Revise relief policies, for real affordability based on means. 6. Justify the double policing costs. 7. Reinstate ratepayers' first free 6,000 liters of water, as revoked in 2017. 8. Ratepayers to pay a flat rate for electricity, with no step-up tariffs, no matter how much you use. Considering all our findings, ratepayer concerns, it's heartbreaking when a civil servant after retiring after 42 years of government service remarks, "I now need to make a choice. Do I pay my municipal account, or buy food as I am to asset-rich and cash-poor to qualify for relief with the city of Cape Town?" Are we nearing a tipping point? Considering this, here with a clip by Milton Friedman of an average household in the USA in 1972. Can you see the relevance to today?
Because of a bit of magic they have in their kit bag. That magic is inflation. They reduce the tax rates, but the taxes we have to pay go up because we are automatically shoved into higher brackets by the effect of inflation. A neat trick. Taxation without representation.
The more I work, it seems like the more they take off of me. I know if I work an extra day or 2 extra days, what they take in federal income tax alone is almost doubled, because apparently it puts you in a higher income tax bracket and takes more off you.
Bob Crawford lives with his wife and 3 children in a suburb of Pittsburgh. They're a fairly average American family.
Don't slam the door, Daphne.
Okay. All right.
What are you doing?
Making your favorite dish.
We went to the Crawfords' home after he'd spent a couple of days working out his federal and state income taxes for the year. For our benefit, he tried to estimate all the other taxes he had paid as well. In the end, though, he didn't discover much that will surprise anybody.
Inflation is going up. Everything's getting more expensive. No matter what you do, as soon as you walk out of the house, everything's going up. Your gas bills keep going up, electric bills, your gasoline. You could name 1,000 things that are going up, but just everything's going sky high. Your food. My wife goes to the grocery store. We used to live on, say, $60 or $50 every 2 weeks just for our basic food. Now it's $80 or $90 every 2 weeks. Things are just, they're going out of sight as far as expense to live on. Like I say, it's getting tough, and it seems like every month it gets worse and worse, and I don't know where it's going to end. At the end of the day, I've spent nearly $6,000 of my earnings on taxes. That leaves me with a total of $12,000 to live on. That might seem like a lot of money, but 5-6 years ago, I was earning $12,000.
How does taxation without representation really affect how much the Crawford family has left to spend after it's paid its income taxes? Well, in 1972, Bob Crawford earned $12,000. Some of that income was not subject to income tax. After paying income tax on the rest, he had this much left to spend. 6 years later, he was earning $18,000 a year. By 1978, the amount free from tax was larger. But he was now in a higher tax bracket, so his taxes went up by a larger percentage than his income. However, those dollars weren't worth anything like as much. Even his wages, let alone his income after taxes, hadn't kept up with inflation. His buying power was lower than before. That is taxation without representation in practice.
The deadline for comments is May 2nd, 2025. This is your last chance to influence this crucial budget. Use the information from our videos and share it. Submit your objections via the City of Cape Town's website. Demand a city that works efficiently, transparent, charges fairly, governs in goodwill, and remains affordable for all, as the strength of a city is in the strength of its ratepayers. In closing, I would like to leave you with a clip on government spending by Milton Friedman.
As I said before, keep your eye on one thing and one thing only, how much government is spending, because that's the true tax. Every budget is balanced. There is no such thing as an unbalanced federal budget. You're paying for it. If you're not paying for it through it in the form of explicit taxes, you're paying for it indirectly in the form of inflation or in the form of borrowing. The thing you should keep your eye on is what government spends. And the real problem is to hold down government spending as a fraction of our income. And if you do that, you can stop worrying about the debt.
Really good food for thought, considering this draft budget and intended spending ahead, the new billing philosophy, failing to advocate for the conservation of natural resources. Let's raise our voice. Share with everyone, caring is sharing, all for one and one for all, making Cape Town great again. Thank you for watching. God bless the ratepayer.